Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Fiscal Fridays. Please be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel to see more IFF content in your feed. What if I told you that $7.3 million in Idaho taxpayer funds will go to support abortion and transing minors this next fiscal year? It seems unbelievable in a state that banned abortion and even outlawed transgender procedures on minors just this legislative session. Unfortunately, this is just what the Idaho Legislature voted to do when they passed the budget for the WWAMI medical education program. Bear in mind that WWAMI is a long-standing contract between Idaho and the University of Washington School of Medicine to cover medical education on Idaho campuses and in Idaho care centers. However, the UW School of Medicine has been the subject of many scandals in recent years for selling body parts of aborted children and advocating for transgender health care for minors. Funding such initiatives imports leftist ideology into the Idaho healthcare system. WWAMI operates across a large swath of land covering Washington, Wyoming, Alaska, Montana, and Idaho. WWAMI accepts 40 students into the Idaho program per year. The program is administered on the University of Idaho campus in Moscow, where medical students complete their first 2 years of medical training. All students take the same coursework in their first 2 years, known as the foundations phase of the program. Students then specialize and diversify their training through rotating clerkships and other courses in the next 2 phases of the program. After the foundations phase, students may leave the state of Idaho to acquire the necessary training for their specialty where it is administered. This program is designed to encourage students to continue to practice in Idaho after they can complete their medical education training. The program is even diversifying the number of opportunities to do rotations at Idaho medical facilities. Though this program sounds enticing to support healthcare in Idaho, what we will find is that the program has taken a hard left turn toward corruption of the healthcare field. When members of the Joint Finance Appropriations Committee questioned Director Jeff Siegmiller during the budget presentation about the courses being taught at the University of Washington School of Medicine, he noted the courses in question are electives. This claim is only partially true, though. The foundations phase of the program, all Idaho medical students must take a life cycles course that teaches about abortion, LGBTQ healthcare, and transgender treatments, including hormone replacement therapies. In a typical college setting, electives are supplementary and designed to be part of a larger selection of courses designed to help you get the number of credits you need to graduate while also tailoring your education to your interests. For instance, not all Idaho students will need to take the courses necessary to become a family physician, but those pursuing that specialty would need to do so. However, in the WWAMI program, this list of courses necessary to become a family physician include various health disparities for African Americans, Native Americans, and LGBTQ health. They also must take a whole course specifically concerning and treating transgender patients. The issue with these courses is that family physicians are what Idaho is most interested in recruiting. With a pipeline of these doctors coming into Idaho to meet the needs of our growing population, the UW School of Medicine is sending them with this woke ideology to take care of you. Because of the nature of the multi-state partnership, this makes the funding system for the WWAMI program particularly confusing, but here's a breakdown of how the dollars flow. About $4.7 million of the $7.3 million budget would cover the cost of the contract with the University of Washington School of Medicine. To administer the program in Idaho, the legislature even added $619,000 to the budget to cover the contract inflation, which would work out to be a whopping 13% increase this next fiscal year. The remaining expenses cover the costs related to the operation of the Moscow campus, including personnel and other costs. The funding appropriated by the Idaho State Legislature covers the costs related to teaching courses taught within the borders of the gem state. As we saw, this does not mean objectionable courses are not being funded by the Idaho Legislature, however. Additionally, it would be absurd to say the contract costs paid to the University of Washington School of Medicine don't support the operations, ideologies, and courses being taught over there in Seattle. After trying to make cuts in response to the impending corruption of the Idaho healthcare system, Senator Scott Herndon attempted to settle with the intent language that clarified that state funds could not be used to support abortion. Objections were raised about this, with the biggest dissenter being none other than the Idaho GOP's resident leftist Representative Britt Raybould of Rexburg. She argued that it is already in law that Idaho shall not support abortions with state funds, and she was right. Section 18-8703 of Idaho Code is clear that the state may not contract with an abortion provider or its affiliates. This includes medical schools. Yet, the legislature voted to defy this very law that says that they can't support the WWAMI program and chose to fund it anyway. Thus, for yet another year, Idahoans will be paying for the dismemberment of children both in the womb and as they grow up. Wrapping up, we asked what's next for healthcare in Idaho. Lawmakers feel somewhat compelled to fund WWAMI because they are mostly all we have. Truthfully, Idaho should have its own medical school. After all, it is the second most populous state in the WWAMI system, beating its closest rival, Montana, by more than 800,000 people. This may be an opportunity for the free market to work in the gem state for a private allopathic medical school to take on the monopoly of the University of Washington. Idahoans should keep in mind that the healthcare lobby is powerful. It won't take long before the medical community advocates for the repeal of Idaho's pro-life and anti-child mutilation statutes, and win. Care must be taken concerning what we fund because these dollars inevitably direct our values, culture, and quality of life in the future. Thank you for watching our show this week. For more episodes of Fiscal Fridays, articles, and other expertise on Idaho politics, please visit idahofreedom.org. Also, be sure to tune in next week as we interview IFF Senior Education Policy Analyst Brandon Durst about the issue of school bonds and levies up for your consideration as we speak. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to our content to keep up with the latest developments in Idaho politics.